Okay, this is the YANHUA, the ACDP programmer. Now, on this video, I'm going to show you how it's like to really use this on a Cast 3. This is a Cast 3. Here's a Cast 2. Got an EWS, and here's the Cast 3. Now it's supposed to be where you could just use, this is the adapter that's supposed to go on here where you don't have to solder, and you can just connect to the pin using the probes here. Now if you watch the videos on YouTube, they're all sellers. No one really shows you a customer who used this. So I had purchased this, and the way it works is you put these little probes here, like these are all, but they're like individual ones, like this, and you put them into the little holes here like that, and you're supposed to be able to, on the videos the sellers put it so you can easily put it, but in reality, let me see if I can put it down. In reality, when you put it on, you're supposed to align it. Well, first there's holes here, and then they don't mention this in the videos, but they tell you to use one of these little probes that they include them in a package like this, and then they tell you you're supposed to poke the holes here. Like here's one right here, you're supposed to poke them, and if you look at these little little things here, they have like they're etched kind of like sandpaper, and you're supposed to poke the holes that these probes will go into. Now I understand that there's going to be resin, some type of wax on top of the board to protect it. So what you're trying to do is you're supposed to sand it off. They never mention this in the videos when they sell it, but you're supposed to poke the little holes and kind of twist it a little bit to sand it off. But if you sand too much, then you messed up the little solder pad. So it's kind of hard how much you should do, and if you do too little, I'm going to show you in the video, it doesn't grab it good, and if you do too much, then you destroy it, and now you're kind of screwed. You have to solder in, fix the pad by soldering. So this is how you're supposed to put it on. You're supposed to align it to the little, it'll tell you to align it to the little pads here, into their individual pads, and it'll show you. So once you align it, you kind of press it down, but it kind of moves around. So once you align it, you want to screw these on. And then you still have to go back and check that, you have to check that each one is on its proper spot. So you still have to kind of go around and check that it's on the correct little solder joints, that they're aligned properly. So that's so hassle, and if one's unaligned, you have to find something to push it back in place. So once you get this done, you have to connect it with this connector right here. And then this one, alright, so once you have it all connected, you have to make sure this is powered up. Then you want to go to the app. So this is where the issue happens. So we have a connected Cast 3, and then you have to see which chip you have. So I have this one right here, 0L515Y. And let's see, immobilizer. See, if you press help, then it tells you what you're gonna need, where to find the module, and which in the circuit board, which pins it is, and then it tells you about the process of the holes with the little probe to sand it down. And so once you get that done, let's see if I can exit out here. Alright, you're ready. So let's read the CAS. Now a lot of times I find that it errors on me and I have to keep trying it over and over again. So let's see how it does it this time. See, my theory is that on the videos that you do see on the internet, they have a cast unit that they either soldered the pad so the connection's easier, so they already know that that module is going to work when they connect it the first time. And I'm gonna post another video when I do it on a cast 4. See here, this error constantly shows up. This error happens over and over again. I'm gonna do it a few times before I cut off the video, because I'm not gonna show a long video of the error keep popping up. Just trust me that it's gonna keep popping up. I'll do a few more times, then off camera I'm gonna wait till it connects so I can finally show you guys the error that comes up. So if you can imagine, you're trying to work on a customer's car, and then okay, look, it looks like it connections succeeded, so it looks like this time we're gonna get it. But there'll be times where we'll do it over and over again, and you can see a little progress bar down here. Now this is not reading this is not reading the cast unit yet. This is just connecting to the programmer. So we're still not at the moment where you're downloading the data off the cast yet. We haven't gotten there yet. But you can see how long it takes. So keep in mind how long this video has been so far, and how long it took me to, you know, to let's say you take out the unit from the shell, and then you have to align the pins. First you have to sand it. Okay, so now it's connecting, now it's starting, device is starting, please wait. So now it's verifying the pins. So what it does is it detects the pins to make sure that they're correct. So it's not going to start reading the cast unit if it knows the pin's incorrect, which is part of the when you have to sand down each little solder pad. And this takes a while. So you can imagine if you're out in the field trying to use this, how long it'll take to get everything set up, and how many times if you don't get the error as much. I mean, I got the error only like 3 times I think on this video. But it does take a long time, and that's one of the reasons why I'm filming this video, is because I went based off of the videos you search on YouTube, which it turns out you see like the same video over and over again, and they're all by sellers. None of them, I haven't seen any customer reviews, and so I had purchased it based off of that. I read a few reviews online, but nothing. It was still new. It was kind of, this is a new product, so there wasn't really much out there. So I took a gamble getting this. I figured I have a bunch of programmers. I just want to try this one out and see how good it does, mostly because the selling on the no solder, which I'll explain more about that later on, and me dealing with this company about that. So you can see the device is starting, please wait. We're still going at it. And that's one of the issues I find. See, all that time just to do it all over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video right now, because otherwise we're gonna go through this. So I'm gonna keep doing what you just seen over and over again until it shows the error about the pin out. So I'm gonna pause the video and then record it once I get to that menu. Okay, so when it finally connects, you're gonna be seeing it says note, if there is a C ground test pin on the interface board, please remove or cut out. So on this board, you see right here, this little, I'm pointing it out right here. Let's see if you can see it. This pin right here, there was a pin here that it tells you to cut it off. So I'm wondering, why would they not just take it out in the first place? So I just soldered it off. I didn't want to cut it off to make it look bad. So what I did, I just simply removed it. I just heated that up and just slide it out when I melted the solder. No big deal. But that's just one thing. So okay, let's continue. So let's press OK. Now it's detecting the pin. And this takes a while as well. So overall, this is not a fast process. They sell you on the idea that you don't have to solder, but for Cast 3, there's so many options out there where you can just hook up a connector right here without having to do all this. So I don't know why they don't, instead of this whole thing where you have to connect this adapter to this to sand, I don't know why they don't just make a plug here like BMW multi-tool or CGGI. I'm going to show you on my multi-tool how fast I can read this without having to do all this. I can read this in a few minutes rather than having to connect everything and dealing with messing with the circuit board by using prongs. Like, it's just a big hassle. And you can see here, poor connection on all these to the end. So initially what you'll do, if you see these, the IND, res, and ETX, the IND would be this one right here, which will be a little pin there, so I can take a look, see if it's aligned or not. You kind of, if it's not aligned, you can kind of push it into the spot, and I'll do it again. Now before I had no problem with the IND. I might have just had it not aligned, which is an issue. I'm telling you, you have to be really careful you line it up. It's not as simple as the videos where you just pop it on and it's perfectly aligned in that video. Let's see what I heard a noise. Let's see what it's going to tell us now. I'm telling you, I've been messing with this for several hours and I have never been able to get it to connect. No matter what I tried. I spoke, this has a chat room in it, this program, where you can talk to text or chat room. They actually banned me from the chat room because I was talking about how difficult this is to connect and how much easier it is to use a different programmer to read the Cast 3. And I was telling them how the issues and all the different methods I try to get those pins connect to the board. I even soldered the little pads. I put a little solder on it so there was a better connection to that solder pad. It just would never connect, and they actually banned me from the chat room because I was talking about how bad it was and how I couldn't get it connect. And then on top of that, the text, this has a line. See how long it's taking? I can explain everything to you guys while it's trying to read the pin connection. One of the techs from the company directly, there's a tech where you can speak to a tech directly, which is kind of cool if they were able to offer any type of help. They actually told me to solder the pad to the board here. They told me to solder there with the lead wire and solder it directly to one of these pins. So I asked them, what is the point of me soldering this if they advertise no solder? They literally told me to solder from the cast module, solder a wire to the pin. That was their explanation. I'm gonna post a screenshot right now of that conversation where they told me to solder it. See, in the screenshot right here, you can see where they had told me to solder that wire, which defeats the whole purpose of buying solder free. And it's still detecting the pin. This is gonna be a long video if I don't, cut things out. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video again and just wait until it shows how it never connects.